Let's go ahead and start. Good morning, y'all. Today's Tech Thursday is all about Paperless Pipeline. Mike, good morning. My name is Ming Richardson. I am the compliance broker for Maximum One Realtor Partner and Realty Partners. Today, hopefully, by showing you how Paperless Pipeline works, it will assist you in organizing your files. Not only that, it will help you with some deadlines and what have you. So, for those of you who have Paperless Pipeline, we're not the only firm that has it. So for those of you that has it, typically you'll get a welcome email from your brokerage. And with that, it'll give you a temporary password. So when you first log in, and granted, I'm actually doing training, so I already know what my password is. But if you ever get a welcome email, just please go ahead and log in, and it'll prompt you to go ahead. Oops. Training. I think that's, see, that works. There it is. So Paperless Pipeline just changed your format, as you can see. Used to be different things. So you see all these notifications? Those are kind of nice in it. So, so to start, what I want to do today is to, one, add a listing, two, add a buyer or a pending contract, and three, adding a rental property. So, so anyways, I just want to make sure that it is done properly, and you understand how to work this transaction. So let's start. So if you're a agent, you already got some transaction in the system, all you gotta do is look at the transaction right here. And here's all the transactions you created. So if you had any tasks due, typically if you go home, it'll let you know how many tasks is due. So it kind of help you organize stuff. And also if you have any closed transaction, you can see it right here. So let's say if it's not, let's say if I want to search one, two, three, I
First
think
of all, you can't you
is
can't hear her.
these things. So so if you
I don't know.
3-4, I have
Long
one
one.
that says Main Street,
All right.
and that's actually for rental. But let me go back to, let's do a listing first,
How?
because that kind of follows suit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, McDonough Street. Oops. But you see how quickly you can actually populate some of the stuff that you may have created, and obviously I can't type today. There we go. I can't still type. All right, let's stick to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see this is one of the transactions I created. So anytime you're looking for transaction, whether it's a closed file or anything like that, you still can look at it and review it, okay? So let's start from the beginning. This is basically your dashboard right here. And I'll tell you once again how many tasks you have due today, how many unassigned document. What happened is that when you upload a file and you didn't assign a transaction to it, it becomes unassigned. So this is where it usually go in this area. But since you have no unassigned, it won't show up. So if let's say I have a buyer and I don't have a file for them yet, because they're not sure if they want to buy or yet. So if I want to upload something, all you got to do is drag a document, and this is easy. And I'm just using whatever it is, okay, that's here. So let's say it's a disclosure. I'm going to upload this form. Okay. You also have to select your location. As an agent of ours, typically you already been assigned to a location. It's not something you can do. And because this is trainee mode, our trainer, our branch manager, has the ability to assign all the documents. So that's why it's the way it is right now. So, all right. So you just upload a document. See how quickly and easy that was? So if you go back to your transaction, your desktop, you see now you have an unsigned document. So this is how sometimes if you just want to upload some document for your own file and you don't have a transaction that's associated with it, you can definitely, hold on. So you can definitely look in this and see, and I got a couple agents join me. So welcome, good morning, y'all. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is show you how to create a transaction from Word Go. So here we go. Let's say I want to do a new transaction. All I have to do is add transaction right here on the left-hand corner. Because once again, most of you are assigned a location already because this is a training mode, so it's going to fall over to whatever location I assign it to, because my branch manager has the ability to put it in whatever location. So normally I would put like 1234 McDonough Street, Jonesboro, Georgia 30 whatever 236. You want to put in as many information in here, and the reason being is that when I look at your file, I do allow folks, I do look at your timeline, and I will take care of the one that's on a deadline. So this is where you can actually put in your MLS numbers, FMLS, Georgia MLS, whatever it is. And this is where you put, and now if it's an off market or pre-sale, what I would do, I would recommend you put 1234 down the street, Jonesboro, same thing as the address. Okay. And so I will hit a dash and I will put pre-sale. This is for new construction, y'all. Okay. So you can put in new construction for everybody. Warworth, I'm going to go ahead and make you a co-host. And so you can actually admit people in if you don't mind. So, all right. So status, this is a brand new listing for me. Okay. So there's a couple status here. So we got new listing, and we have back on market is when if your contract falls through and then it come back in the market, or it's a listing that was an incoming referral for another brokerage, yay, or it's a listing that I have referred out to another brokerage. So for this one, we're going to call new listing, okay? And the label is that you need to tell me whether or not this is a okay, now let me explain the labels to you really quick, okay? Admin fee are folks, agents that has charged a client a retainer fee or administration fee. Now, some people call it brokerage fee, so it just depends on the agent. So if you categorize that, that will help me tremendously, because I wouldn't be looking for actually a transaction. All I'm looking for is a retainer fee or a buyer brokerage agreement where you ask them for that fee up front, okay? Now, if the property is a commercial lease and sale, or if it is a land lot, okay? We also have incoming referral, and if it's buyer or seller, or we have referrals that's going out as buyers or sellers. So you can see these categories are very defined. All right, most of this is residential, either residential rental for the label or residential sale. Retainer fee is, once again, like I said, is retainer fee. So the Z category, y'all, that's our internal file, so don't just ignore it, okay? For this particular exercise, we're actually our listing agent, so I'm gonna put rental sale. Now I'm gonna put my listing date. Let's say I'm gonna list it July 1st, and it's gonna expire September 30th. So what happened is that if you don't sell this property by September 30th, guess what? The file will automatically expire unless you extend it, okay? So you will need to go ahead. Thank you, Woolworth, for letting people in. Go ahead, extend the listing by uploading the file. And what happened is the system will give you a notice as well. So you know, I know when I have more than 2 transactions, sometimes 3, um, I get confused on who the lender is, who the buyer is, if I'm the listing agent, and who the attorney is. So the reason why we want to be as detailed as possible in here is so that you can log in and immediately know who you need to contact and who the contact person is. Okay. So as a listing agent, this is probably all you're going to do right here. Of course, this is standard note for us, and we usually put John Smith for seller or whoever the seller is. Now, we did ask you guys to put a lead source. Now, if it's agent owner, let's say this is your property, put agent owner on it, okay? Agent Pronto is actually a referral source. Chine is a referral lead. Closing attorney sometimes give you a lead. Facebook, Homebird, lenders. Sometimes it's a maximum internal leads. OpCity, others. Realtor.com, Redfin. So you can see all these, and we've got repeat business. We also have social media, Sphere Influence, Veteran United, Walk-In, and Zello. So those are the most common ones. If you guys have something that's unique, just send me an email, say, hey, can we add another lead source? And that's not a problem, okay? I'm gonna say this one came from through Chime. So my list price for this is $350,000, okay? I normally don't put commission in there simply because, you know, you can list a property and sometimes it doesn't always sell for $350,000. So what I do in a commission summary is that if I'm doing a special rebate or anything that I'm doing, like if I'm buying a home warranty, then I denote here. So basically I will say 6%. Now, if you are split is where you get 3.5 and the selling agent get 2.5, that's fine. Just denote it in here because the normal things that we have is typically a 3 and 3. So if it's anything outside of 3 and 3, I will put 6%, 3.5 to listing, and 2.5 to selling. Okay. Now, if I'm going to pick up a home warranty, I'm going to say will provide a warranty to buyer, not to exceed X amount of dollars, whatever it is y'all agree upon, payable to American Preferred Home Warranty. Okay, so now I know what happened is when you make that detailed note, when I'm here to do your commission, guess what? I'm gonna do your DA, it's always I'm gonna catch that, always. So anything that affects the commission, please leave it in this commission summary. Now, let's go back up here really quick, and I forgot to mention, like right here, more information. You can delete all these, honestly, and if you have something important to say, such as offer sign, listing sign, I'm sorry, listing signed on 7/1/2020, but special stip states not to list until repair is completed. So this way, I know that you have uploaded your listing, and that the reason why you have not put it in MLSs is because you got a repair pending. So I won't penalize you for that. So because the brokerage agreement is that you guys need to upload these documents within 72 hours. Now the National Association of Realtors say you have to actually upload your listing within 24 hours. So I just want you guys to be aware that the more information is the area where you can give us a note on any special circumstances on your file, and this will help us to kind of breeze through a lot of stuff without an issue. Okay, so with that said, all you got to do is hit add transaction and you're done. Okay, so all right. Oh, sorry, I forgot, my bad. So assign agent, I'm gonna put team. Actually, this is training mode, so I'm gonna put training. So I am the listing agent. It does make a difference whether or not you're listing or selling, okay? So now let's say you have an assistant that helps you. So you can put, I'm just put team, wildfire team, okay? And this is my assistant. So if you go in here if you make this person assistant, what happened is that they're not added to your DA, your disbursement authorization, but they're there to help you upload all the documents or anything you need, and that they will have access to your file, okay? So now if you have an outside assistant, please let me know, because I can create a file for them where they have access to yours as long as you are assigning them to assistant, okay? So anyways, add transaction. If y'all have any question, please ask in Q&A, because the chat goes really quick sometimes, and Q&A typically stay up on my screen until it's answered. So now you have a create a transaction for a listing. So the next step you should do is add the checklist. What the checklist does is help you to see what documents are needed for your file. And I know this sounds backwards, but the way we add it, because the way the checklist is, it kind of stack on top of each other. So we actually add the closed checklist right here, okay? And then we're gonna add the pending, okay, checklist. And you see how these checklists are populated, things you need. And now the last one I'm gonna add is listing checklist for sale, okay? So now you know exactly what the brokerage is looking for when you upload a listing, okay? So here's the listing agreement with binding date. The wire and ABAD is required per company policy and also RESPA, okay? Now, not all property has seller disclosure. What I have seen come through lately is that a lot of people are putting a seller disclosure and put sellers never live in there and cross out a lot, just cross out the whole entire thing. Well, disclosure has been given. The only problem is that if a seller knows there's any layman defect on the property, they have to disclose. It does not excuse them for not disclosing them. And as well as HOA, if there's no HOA, you know, if some people, I have seen some people at, when they fill out an HOA form and just cross it all out. So if you're in the habit of doing that, just so you have all your documentation together, that's fine. But a lot of time, like on this one right here, because it's listed for $350,000, I'm going to ask you to see if there's any HOA. So if you want to cut me off and basically put the information, say, you know, no HOA on the more information earlier in that screen, then you can always go back and edit your file right here by input no HOA. And you can put no seller disclosure. Investment property. So I know not to expect these two items from you, and I will delete that off once I have a chance to go in there and add and will audit your file. So the next step is basically upload. So you can and I'm just dragging some files that I have. I don't know what I have here. So, well, this is one of my listings. So I'm gonna put, so I'm gonna go in here and say listing right here. And I know it's not, they're not the same address, but you see how you can rename your document right here. So normally what I like to do is put the property address and I put listing. Now there is a difference how you categorize these documentation. If you see right here, it tells you listing is only available to the listing agent. So if we have two agents that's in the same brokerage that is co-oping on a deal, guess what? We don't have to upload, create another file. We can actually all work off of the same file. So listing agent, upload your file in the listing section. And the sale agents, sales basically is anything visible to listing and selling agent, okay? Public meaning is available for anybody that's off of staff or the listing or selling agent, but is not available to anybody that are not involved. It's only available to listing and selling agent. Private means that it's only the listing agent or the administration, which is me, is able to see your file. Okay, so it is important how you categorize these. So if I hit listing, I can hit upload document. This is just how easy and quick the documents, well, this one's taking a little bit while, must be a big one, upload to the system. So once uploaded, you can see, it'll populate back to your transaction right here. You can see that this is not reviewed. Once, if I reviewed it, you always see a check mark right here, and also a check mark related to that particular documentations. Now, as an agent, and this pretty much conclude the listing portion of it. So let's say we got a contract, okay, on this file. Now I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna edit a documentation. I'm gonna say, hey, guess what? I got a contract and the acceptance date was the 23rd and we're closing on August the 7th. Ooh, that's really quick. Let's do 28, be realistic here. So my earnest money is due 3 days after closing. So, 3 days after binding. So 1, 2, 3, but it falls on Sunday, so it goes to the first business day. So inspection day, I have a 10-day due diligence period. So it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So due diligence actually ends on August the 2nd. And loan approval date, let's say that I had a timeline of, let's see, second was 10 days. Let's say we're 20 day on loan approval. Or 21 days, okay? Appraisal, let's say this is an FHA, okay? The appraisal doesn't matter because it goes to closing, okay? So it, but if it's a conventional loan, you need to go ahead and put that date in there. And typically your appraisal is no more typically than your loan, your financing contingency. So it is important what timeline you put in here, okay? All right, so these are the timeline in here, okay? And so what happened is you can put buyer's name, Jean Smith, and we actually sold this property for $349,000, okay? And then I'll hit save transaction. So now you have all these documentation right here. Guess what? Every morning when you get up, and if you have a notice, let's see if I can see it from here. So once again, because I am the admin, I get a ton of notice, just so you know. All right, I'm gonna show you this. I'm pop my email over here really quick. So as you can see, I just had it right here. Okay, it'll notify me every morning. These are my tasks. So when you assign a date, guess what? When you have 10 transactions going, all these dates gonna populate and let you know this is due today. Okay, this is important when you're talking about due diligence period or anything like that, because you might be losing your client's earnest money if you don't act quickly that day. Okay, and as you can see, it says review all 20, because I'm admin, once again, I have a lot of tasks. And so you can actually click the link in here, see what your tasks are, okay? All right, take this off now. So, hey, Warworth, will you let them in real quick? There's a person waiting. So if you look at this, so in here, you can actually assign, I don't know the training, okay. I apologize, I thought the training allows you to do it. So when you upload the documents and all, you can say, okay, I upload this, I upload this. So this kind of helps me notify what you uploaded. You can put a check mark in here so you can visually decide, what you have done or have not done in here, okay? I believe most of you are able to actually assign a dates to yourself. Hang on one second. I'm gonna log into a different system here because I thought you guys can change. So I'm actually going to go in system, change somebody really quick. Because I thought you guys can actually assign your own dates. So, okay. My bad. I thought you could, but obviously you can't. I don't see it where it allows you. But anyway, I normally come in and when I audit your file, I normally come in and assign all these dates for you guys. But I also need your assistance to make sure you have assigned these dates in the edit transaction portion of it. Okay. So a lot of people say, okay, well, I can't go back and change my dates and what have you. That's because your status has changed. So let's say this file is now under contract. See how this is grayed out right here? You can't put an automatic expiration date. As a listing agent, you can pop back and forth just so you can fill out some of the timeline right here. But once you put in pending, there are some functionality that is taken away simply because that you won't go back and readjust something that should not be there, okay? If you have a new agent and you got a mentor, same thing, you can add them as a person in your team. So that way your mentor can check your file, ensure that you have all the documents in here and see what's missing, okay? And also sometimes when I make a comment on your file, and you can send a comment to me as well. Like here, say property listed buying on July 1st, but not listed until whatever. So when you populate this to me, when I go in there, I can see your notes in here very easily, okay? So I hope that helps you guys understand why we do some of these things. And also, you guys, if you are really good about adding your contact, like the closing attorney, add contact. So when you get and send Sandy a note on your commission, all you got to do is drag her name down here, and I put commission instruction. And you can say, please see attached. And you can actually attach this file and hit send email. So that's how you can send files outside of Paperless Pipeline to the person that you want to get to. So this is how you send email internally and externally. Okay, this goes both ways. And the beauty of this is that if I have any notes or emails sent, guess what? It's logged. Okay. When you have an issue with a client or anything like that, or anybody, if you would send it through the Paperless Pipeline, it shows that we have done our due diligence in ensuring that we're doing the right thing. Okay. So just want to let you guys know that. All right. So this, is a listing agreement. And once again, you can, there's a couple other functionality here. You can actually merge document, and because I'm gonna hit cancel on this notes, okay? You can, well, because I only have one document. Let's do this. And listen, you guys, if you have the whole entire contract in one form, that's okay. Don't split it and then make me redo. And let's see, this is a sale document, okay? So don't, if you have a whole entire purchase and sale here, please don't split them up and then make me review it individually and whole, okay? You don't have to do that. So this is how you merge document. Just click merge document. And you can do this, and then you merge document. So if you need to combine some document together, you can just do that in real, and you can call it combine whatever file. This is how you merge document together if you don't want it split. While it's merging, you can actually go in there and start working. Now, if you need to separate the file, you see right here, if you right click here, you can break apart the file. Let's say you did a buyer brokerage agreement along with all your contract in one shot. Okay, so you can actually break them apart by page. Okay, and say this is BBA, buyer brokerage agreement, and this should go to my set. Oh well, because I'm a listing agent, you see how this functionality only allow you listing. So then this probably will be, I'm gonna call it, same thing. It goes, then this will go on my listing. And let's say page 6. I know I'm butchering up this thing really good right now. I'm gonna call this purchase and sale. And this should go into sale document. And this one is, let's say, commission. So you can break apart as many files as you want. And of course it's going to sale as well. So the last, whatever page it is, holy God, there's a lot of pages. To the end, it's probably brochures. So I'm just going to call it brochures. And I'm going to say, instead of the buyer brochure, I'm going to call it listing brochure. So it goes to listing. Now, you can delete the original document after an break apart, because I don't really need to see your document twice. Okay. So commission. So you can hit break apart, and guess what? Everything will be broken apart, and then you can go in and email the attorney the commission agreement, the purchase and sale, because the attorney doesn't need the listing agreement. Okay, so this is how you can do certain thing. If you want to upload everything in one file, which is fine, and you break them apart or combine them, however you want to do it. Okay, whatever it is you're trying to do. But you see how these are now separated out by the categories and what have you. Okay. All right, so I did want to show you the functionality of break apart. You can download the file. You can edit doc. Let's say, oh, I miscalled this file, and it should be amendment number 1. And normally when you do amendment, it's a repair request. Just type in what it is, because it's hard to figure out what the amendment number 1 is if you don't tell me. If you have 7 amendments, you're trying to find out the one that you're looking for. It's easier to put amendment number 1. Make sure you have all of them in sequence. If it's sometimes an amendment that's unsigned, just to know it's unsigned, and it's okay if you're going to move on to the next one. So, all right, now I'm going to exit out this right here. Hopefully y'all understood some of the functionality in here. I'm going to go into a buyer mode now. So as a buyer, I already created a transaction. It's called 1234 Smith. Okay, right here. So I created a file with the buyers. And as you can see, you can do the status buyer prior to contract, or once it's under contract, you can put in whatever. So let's say I just want to upload a buyer brokerage agreement. So you can create the name to whatever it is, to the buyer's name if you want. And when you are under contract, I typically automatically switch out the buyer's name to the property address, but you can also send a request to be switched out. So, so with buyers, this is now a sale or rental, depending on which one it is. It's a sale contract. Sometimes you may not have the listing date, so it's okay, skip out on this. But what I'm looking for is acceptance dates and your closing date. All right, earnest money, that's important, because y'all, if you don't submit earnest money, you can get reported to Greg if this deal falls south. Okay, so earnest money is due on the 20th. As a buyer's agent, these are important day to me. My inspection is due 7 days later. My loan approval has to be done by July per my contract agreement. I'm just using all, unless it's a conventional loan. The only time you need appraisal due date would be if you have a conventional loan or USDA. Those two are the only one that has specific timeline in there. So my appraisal due date same day as my loan approval. Okay. So anything special you want to talk about your buyer? Let's say my standard of practice is to give a home warranty. So I'm gonna put home warranty rebated by selling agent. $495 max. Okay. Always put seller's name because it makes a difference when I issue out a DA. It actually has seller and buyer's name. If you don't put in there, sometimes attorney, when they look at a piece of paper like anybody else, they don't have a reference. It's kind of hard. So I'm put John Smith, and my buyer is Gene Smith, not related, of course. I got them through my sphere influence. Okay. The list price for the property is $350, and I was really good negotiator. We got it for $320. In commission report, I'm gonna put 3% because I'm only concerned about me. Okay, no offense to the selling agent. Now, if you are doing rebate or anything like that, you can put it in here as well. Honestly, anything has to do with your commission. I'd rather you put it in commission summary because when I do DA, it actually populates and let me know that these are things I need to look for. Okay. You always have to assign yourself as an agent. I'm a selling agent. Now, if I have an assistant or a mentor, let's say Tony Walker, hold on. She is my mentor, so I'm gonna click on her, okay, and hit save transaction. Now, this is really nice. The outside co-op agent, meaning who is the listing agent? Let's say is MJ. I see you here. And MJ at Max One. I'm just making up an email, so please forgive me. So I hit save transaction. As a buyer's agent, you see how the listing agent's in here. Now I do want to add the attorney in here. And I do want to add a lender. Because I can tell you right, okay, let's say Jake. Yep, Jake got it. Okay, so I want to add the lender and I want to add Burgess title. I thought we had it earlier. And you can add as many people as you want. Okay, you can add their assistants, you can add pre-closer, you can add whoever. So for me, when I log in this transaction, guess what? I have all my information on my contact folks, and I don't have to worry about who was it that has transaction 123 Smith Street or Madonna Street, whatever it is. Okay, it's all outlined here. Okay, so you can send, and the beauty of this, if you were have to send Jake an email, you can just drag his email address down here, and you can actually, sorry, this shouldn't be in your system, but you can make a template testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, okay. This is, let's say, if you want to address an issue that's typically what you do on standard, you want to save it as a template, you can save this message as a template and color whatever you want. So if you have a standard message to your client once you're under binding, whereas you tell them about their dates, you can do it through transaction desk. One is show that you actually have performed your duties to your client and let them be aware of what's going on here and what have you. So this is for you guys. These are just some tools and tips in the system. I don't know if you guys were aware of it. But anyway, upload document once again, drag and click, drag and click. So I'm just going to say, here it is. Here's the offers. And I'm going to put these under. See now, as a selling agent, your category has changed from listing to buyer. So because these are sale related items, I'm going to put under sale. Now the electric bill is private. because nobody really needs to see that. It's for my reference. You can put that on private, or if it's a buyer documentation, put it under buyer documentation. Okay, so and upload transaction. There you go, split out. And there's another functionality here that was fairly new. It's called labeling. If you right click here, if you guys want me to see your file immediately when I see your transaction on DA, there are labels in here. So these kind of grab my attention really quick. And so if you want to label this as a DA, guess what? When I log in and see that little red flag, my eyes gravitate toward that. And we also have a label. If you're a listing agent, sometimes not all offer goes through. So this is first offer, second offer, third offer. And also we have T&R and home warranties and HUD or Alta statement. Some of our agents are. And if you have commission split, that's what this is for. So I occasionally will go back and relabel some things so I can look at it as a reference, because sometimes some of y'all have 30 different uploads and it gets a little confusing afterwards. So these are some of the functionality in here. So I just want to show you what they are. As well, when you're a buyer agent, please add a checklist. It's always closed. Then you add pending. And then you add buyers and tenant checklists. So now you got the whole gimmick of checklists here. Okay, so you know what I'm expecting from you. Okay. And this pretty much conclude our buyer portion of it. You guys, please, 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 if I can beg y'all to put on those dates, because those dates is important, because it will remind you if you're late or not. Okay. And sometimes I know that it's a timing difference. Sometimes you guys will upload a document and it still give you the warnings. And it's because I haven't got to it. Just depends on certain time of month where the transactions are really heavy and I can't get to it quickly. So I just want you guys to know that. Okay. And also my last transaction I want to show you guys is rentals. So rental has its own category. I create a transaction rental. You can see this is a residential rental and it's under contract on the buying side, or I can be the listing side, doesn't matter. So the checklist for rentals the same way, except it's leased checklist. Then you go pending for lease document, and your buyer is always the same. Okay. Now, if you're listing, that's the difference, where whether or not you represent a buyer or listing the rentals. Okay. In this case, I represent the buyer. Here's all y'all's checklist. So you know exactly what you need and what I'm expecting from you guys. All right. And also sometimes y'all have referrals. And even though this is not, you can just change the label on these and do whatever. But the referrals, if you look at it, referral to another broker, incoming commission. These are the task lists I'm looking for you. CO16, some state doesn't do CO16, so they will ask you to have their own form, which is fine. CO16 is for GAR or RU156. These forms are here already spelled out for you. And per license law, you got to have a consent for referral agreement, unless you have a listing agreement with them or buyer brokerage agreement, which those two agreements automatically allow you to refer them out. Okay. So you need to kind of let us know when the incoming commission, and that's where you can go edit the transactions, the expected closing date or whatever it is, or you can put it right here, what the expected closing date is, if you know it. Sometimes you just don't know. So I just want you to know how these things can help you to keep yourself organized. So anyway, once you assign a checklist, you can't delete them. I'm the only one that can delete, and the administrator are the only one that can delete them, and that's for safety precautions, okay? So anyway, so if you guys currently have any files that's pending, that should have been expired out because you didn't put expiration date, let us know. Send an email to me or Keisha, and we'll be more than happy to take those off the system. Okay. If the file is terminated and you did not put TNR, even though the contract has expired, we're going to put a note in the system and wonder why you didn't send a TNR or request that you give some type of documentation, and let us know why. And you can put it in more info. This contract has fallen through, because it's all about, you guys, we're dealing with everybody's biggest investment, and we want to treat it with care, because this is their legacy to their children as well. So we want to treat all the files with care, because this is a lot of money that we're dealing with. Okay. So, and this is pretty much the paperless pipeline, um, 101, so to speak. If y'all have any questions, please call the branch manager. They all are very well trained on this sector of the file. Nancy, Tammy, or Woolworths can help you. Where Caroline's fairly new, so she probably won't know as much as you do. So please do join us on your onboarding and let us know what we can do to make you guys um, make your life a little easier. I wasn't sure if there's any question or anything like that. So this is my dashboard, y'all. So you can see my dashboard consists 99 plus unreviewed documents. I got 9 unassigned documents. I got at least 20 tasks due today. So I want to show you guys something really quick. Let's go into, and I normally, just so you know, when I come in here, I sort these by closing date. So if I have DAs or anything like that, I kind of, you know what a tag is for, because it's easy for me to identify, like right here. Okay. So when I'm getting ready to assign a DA, let me just show you some stuff that's in the back end system so you can understand a little bit better. And you see how helpful that is. It tells me that when they're closing, so I get to it quicker. If you have no closing date, guess what? When I sort this by the closing date, it doesn't show up. Okay. But at the same time, I always try to make sure once I get what I feel like the fire is out, then I can go in and look at what's the oldest uploads, and and see what's there. So when I go in here, I typically manage the commission and see how that commission summary pops up, where I told you guys, if anything affects your commission, put it in this little category, because it pops up for me. So I automatically know, instead of 3.5, this is a 2.5% commission. And normally I just, I have a DA on hand. I know who the attorney is. I will add an attorney as well, and what have you. So, we calculate based on that, and tells me what percentage you are, and also tells me what kind of fee structure you're in, and what have you. So, this is what I go through on DAs and stuff like that. Okay. So it is important for you to put any special things on your commission that wasn't here, that affects your commission, so it can catch my eyes. Now, if your sale price is different from what your DA submittal is, I'm going to ask you guys to submit a amendment to change the sale price, because I can arbitrarily change your commission because there's no amendment that was uploaded for it. So there's a lot of steps that I look at in the back end before DA's even issued. So I just want to let you guys know what I'm looking at and why some of the things are the way they are. Anyways, thank y'all for attending. I think, I don't believe I have any questions. So I think this will conclude our Tech Thursday on Paperless Pipeline, and thank y'all so much for joining. And have any more questions, the video is available in our workplace and training folder. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day. Appreciate y'all coming. Bye-bye.